Hi and welcome to episode 4 of The Kindness Project. I'm with Charlotte J. Dames, officially the most excitable 14-year-old in the world.
And I'm with the wannabe piano man, Chris Dave.
I've always aspired to play the piano. I don't know about you. It's one of those things that has been on my bucket list for years now. But I know you're learning ukulele at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah. I don't know an awful lot. Well, I say I don't know an awful lot. But
I think you're quite good.
there's like loads of different chords, and I tend to stick to the basic ones and just enjoy playing.
Yeah. What's your favourite song to play on the ukulele?
I like to
Say Cribbins. Please say Bernard Cribbins.
I actually haven't done a Cribbins song yet.
Oh, what?
Because,
what one would you pick?
Hole in the Ground.
Oh, Hole in the Ground. Not Right Said Fred.
No.
Okay.
But some songs are like really difficult to find, and sometimes what I do is I use a website and it gives me a recommended list of songs that they think I should play based on the ones I've already done.
Okay.
So I just usually click on one of those.
Is one of those Seven Nation Army? Because you seem to play that quite a lot.
No, that's from school. I learned how to do that at school.
Okay. And what one do you enjoy playing the most?
No, there's a couple. Sharp and Dance, Take Me to Church, I quite enjoy playing.
Take Me to Church is an awesome track.
Yeah.
Have you done any Paolo Nutini yet?
Yes.
Okay.
I did once or twice try New Shoes.
Okay, fair enough. So one of my aspirations is to learn how to play piano, and because I've now been officially dubbed #Jazzman, whatever that means, I suppose I better learn how to play jazz piano at some point in the future.
I actually learned how to play All That Jazz on piano at one point.
All That Jazz is a good track. Can you play piano or not?
Bits and pieces. I can play Stressed Out, All That Jazz. A couple of bits that I can't remember, but they make us play piano at school, so obviously...
Yeah, you've done a bit of it.
Yeah.
So, we're in week 4 now, Charlotte. You enjoying the podcast recording so far?
Yes.
Cool. You don't sound particularly sure, but thanks for your enthusiasm and your encouragement. It is a laugh. It's good fun. But what I want to do for our listeners is just to explain a bit about the format of the Kindness Project and a bit about why we're doing it. So we did speak about this in episode 1, but I want to just do a quick recap. And the reason we're doing this is because all we want to do is spread a little bit of kindness, happiness and joy to the world. And if we can talk about how people are doing that already and sharing stories of kindness and news of kindness, we'd like to do that. Sharing the love. #sharing the love. We want to share the love a bit. Now, the format of each episode is going to go like this. Firstly, we're going to do a little bit of an introduction, and on every podcast, we're going to have a podcast question of the day. And you don't know what that question is, do you?
God, here we go.
It's coming up. Then what we're going to do is share some good news stories of kindness from around the world. And we've got kindness stories from America, Canada, Germany, Australia, and even Romford. I've got a kindness story from Romford in Essex. I know. I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you about it soon enough. So we're going to be sharing some stories of kindness around the world. And then we're going to have a sort of 10-15 minute slot, which is going to be all about one particular story or an interview or something we're trying to do. That's going to be the main event. And then what we're going to do after that is share some listener stories with you. So we actually think this isn't about us, Charlotte and I. We'd like your stories of kindness so we can share them with the rest of our listeners. And let's just tell people how they can get in touch. So we're on Twitter.
Hola, kindness.
Hola, kindness. What's the matter with the accent?
You're pronouncing the H too much.
The problem is, Charlotte, you do it in your Cockney accent because you do hola, kindness. It's actually with a H, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's a soft H.
Is it a soft H or a hard H? Is it a soft or a hard H?
It's hola.
Right. It's HOLA kindness on Twitter. Our email address is
hola.
Hey, we got the hola right.
Kindness Project.
So it's holla at thekindnessproject.co.uk, and you can find our website on thekindnessproject.co.uk too. So please get in touch with listener stories.
And
please.
individual Twitters.
Oh yeah, let's do our individual Twitters as well. So you can find me at Chris Dames, D for Delta, A for Alpha, E for Echo, M for Mother, S for Sugar, and you can be found, Charlotte, at
Charlotte J Dames. So Dames is spelled the same way. Charlotte spelled CHARLOTTE.
And there's a J in the middle, right?
There's a J in the middle.
So we think that sharing stories of kindness, interviewing people who are doing really good work to share kindness in the world, is just something that we can do to improve everybody's overall kindness level and everybody's overall happiness. Even if it is in a tiny, tiny little way, we want to try and help do that. Now, are you ready for Question of the Week? What was that? I don't know.
Let me try.
Go on in. Are you ready for
Question of the Week?
That's not bad. We'll try a different one next week. But let's have Question of the Week. So,
is it philosophical like last time?
Well, no, it's not philosophical because we failed miserably at answering a philosophical question. But the question of the podcast is, what country is on the top of your must-visit list?
Japan.
And why?
So I love watching anime, which is obviously originated in Japan. And I think it'd be quite nice to go and see the place where something I thoroughly enjoy comes from. And obviously, I'd like to see a lot of the culture.
Yeah, it's a fascinating culture. Japanese culture.
And it's whereas here I think they're more polite over there.
Yeah.
As well, their culture is a more polite society.
So I've heard mixed things about Japan. I think their culture is fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. But I think it's a very hierarchical culture, I've heard, and that can create pressures on people that aren't healthy. I want to visit, and I've only been once, the happiest country in the world, in a lot of polls each and every year, Denmark.
Did we go to Denmark?
You know what? We went to Denmark years ago, and we went on a ferry that was an overnight ferry from Harwich. Got on this ferry, got to Denmark. We were there for 5 hours, and everything was shut.
Yeah.
So we went to a place called Esbjerg, and the most famous thing about Esbjerg is 3 men looking out to sea. Now, I'm not sure whether we got a really good representation of Denmark when we went, so I've got to go back. Yeah. And I've got to go to Copenhagen. That's the top of my list.
And obviously, we've been talking about doing tomatina as well.
Yeah, I fancy tomatina, actually.
It sounds fun.
I fancy tomatina. So chucking tomatoes at random strangers should be on everybody's list, I think. But we'll get round to doing that as well. So what we'd like to do is hear from you. So not only with stories of kindness, but to answer the question of the podcast, what is on top of your must-visit list? Now, that's enough whittling from us for 1 week. Should we get on with the show?
Yeah.